Here is a data point that will help make the case for investment of time or money in AI search. AI tools now meet and slightly outperform social media as a go-to source for obtaining information about programs. So when you think about your marketing investment, compare that to the average $116,000 that institutions spend every year on social media advertising. AI search deserves the same level of attention and resources as the channels you already trust to drive enrollment. Being found is really half the battle. It's what earns you a place in that consideration set. And so, with learners heavily relying on search and AI, it makes visibility your competitive advantage. We as marketers spend so much time thinking about our differentiation, fine tuning our messaging, creative positioning. But the truth is, you don't even have that opportunity to prove that value if you're never seen. And so, as Bruce mentioned, most learners are starting with an initial list of just 3 schools. So if you're not visible early, you're not even in the conversation. So yes, differentiation still matters, but it starts with discovery. You should be spending as much energy getting found as you do defining what makes you different. It is correct that university sites are already super strong because of the .edu and other factors, but what we find is that individual schools or programs or deeper pages usually lack these critical authority signals. So it is still your job as a marketer to build those up. Let's dig into 2 key citation concepts that matter for AI visibility: co-citation and co-occurrence. So a lot of people will tell you to build citations, but this is like getting into like why it matters and like how to do it in a really strong way. So co-citation is when your institution is mentioned alongside other reputable universities or orgs. So for example, when Tulane SOPA is mentioned alongside the ABA, it strengthens Tulane's brand in relation to legal topics. Another example is when a smaller or newer program is listed alongside established programs on a top 10 list. The smaller program earns credibility by association. This is super important. Then co-occurrence happens when your brand and your key topics frequently appear together, like Tufts University College and HR skills. Here are 5 ways to get going with what we've talked about today. Start by Googling yourself and your program searches and just see what shows up. So this will give you a baseline of where you are or aren't visible. Then edit your profiles and directories so that they're consistent and complete, and they're reinforcing those entities and building up your credibility with co-citations and co-occurrence. Like you can control whether or not you list your ABET accreditation or your ABA accreditation or whatever accreditation is most relevant for your program. You can put that in your niche.com profile. You can optimize your niche.com profile to include the things that you want to show up for. The third is to add factual statements to your blogs and content on your site, add internal links to your site. 4 is repurpose blogs or program pages into new formats. You can create those multiple authority signals and extend your reach. So if somebody is searching on social media, you're also getting a bite at that apple. That's another angle of why you want to be creating this content in different formats. And 5 is work with PR to distribute press releases and earn media coverage that will build your visibility and trust in your program, like going down deep to these specific programs that you want to be found for, not just your brand at a high level.
Does organic still matter? It does, a lot. Organic results still drive clicks, and those same rankings often feed AI overviews. We see this in our client data. For example, medical billing and coding degree. LSU Online ranks #1 organically. Ultimate Medical Academy ranks #3. In the AI overview, they are 2 of the top 3 citations. Those are brands AI understands, and that's exactly what we want for you. AI understands your brand through its knowledge graph, the web of connections that define who you are, what you offer, who's involved, and where you operate. For Tufts University College, for example, the brand sits at the center of a network that includes people, instructors, programs, leaders, alumni, locations, their Medford campus, or their online programs, products, pre-college, professional certificates, OSHA lifelong learning, topics, expertise for which Tufts is known, healthcare management, sustainability, data analytics. So when you're optimizing for AI search, focus first on reinforcing those product and topic entities. They're what users usually search for. The others, people, places, and services, give context and credibility helping AI connect the dots and fully understand your brand. The first step to your AI strategy is understanding how the foundational concepts of SEO translate to AI SEO. Keywords become entities. Instead of matching an exact keyword, AI is looking for clearly defined things, people, places, programs, and ideas. It's built on knowledge graphs, which means it understands relationships and context, not just strings of text. There's a shift from context to clarity. You want your content to speak to one clear core concept and include just enough supporting language to make that concept unmistakably clear. One of my SEO colleagues uses a really difficult word that I love to repeat, which is monosemanticity, right? It's like you want to be about one thing. That's what helps AI disambiguate, to know exactly what you mean and what you don't. Links don't matter as much as citations. Traditional SEO relied on backlinks for authority. In AI SEO, credibility comes from being mentioned and referenced in trusted authoritative places, not just linked. And foundational SEO still matters. You still want solid technicals, clean structure, and good content, but you can layer AI SEO on top of that to expand your visibility in AI overviews and other generated results. When we talk about AI SEO, we're not talking about a totally new discipline. We're talking about applying SEO fundamentals in a way that helps AI understand your content. This is our third research study with UPSEA, and it's by far the most actionable. And that's because it answers the exact questions that higher ed marketers have been asking us. Over the past year in UPSEA sessions and hallway conversations, we've heard the same thing. How is AI changing the way students search? And what's actually different now? The research looks at how learners search overall, and specifically when exploring professional and continuing education programs. That's what makes this data so valuable. Now let's shift from the big picture to the practical, what you can actually do on your university site to improve AI visibility. These tactics build on the foundation we've just covered: clarity, credibility, and structure. Let's start with content. Assume you already have a solid program, pages, or blog posts. Here's how to make them AI ready. Go beyond keywords. Think entities, the things your content is about. Looking at Wikipedia or Wikidata can help you see which entities define your brand and programs. Be specific and direct. Write like you're answering a question, even if it's not a literal Q&A. Clear, fact-based statements are what AI engines use to understand meaning. Chunk your content. Break text into short, scannable blocks, around 170 to 200 characters, so AI can easily parse these ideas. Think of it like writing for featured snippets: concise, structured, and digestible. Use structure: H1s, H2s, bulleted lists, etc. These kinds of things have always mattered for the scannability of content by humans, and they matter as well for AI. The clearer your hierarchy, the easier it is for AI to elevate your key points. Build your authority with citations. If you link out to trusted external sources and to your own experts, you help the AI to verify credibility. When you reference a field or concept, link to the canonical sources. When you mention an instructor or thought leader, link to their CV or LinkedIn. These are signals AI uses to validate who you are and what you know.